Okay, so today we're taking a look at the WGCC 4 megapixel variable focus WDR zoom dome IP camera. It's IP67 weatherproof certified. It has up to 4 megapixel resolution with 1/3 inch progressive scan CMOS. It's 2.8 to 12 millimeter electric variable focus lens, up to 30 meter infrared range, and 120 decibel WDR and 3D DNR. It has a built-in micro SD card slot option. It supports H.265 video. Like I said, it has IP67 certified, and it is a power over Ethernet camera, which is how we're going to set it up today. So let's take a look at the camera itself first off, and then we'll check out how it works with the interface. So we have the camera itself. It's a pretty large camera. It is a metal frame. All right, it is very solid, very heavy, very well constructed. Over here you have a cap for pole mounting. You can get a pole with the threading that's on here with the same diameter threading and mount it right on there. For now, let's go ahead and open up the camera and take a look inside. Okay, so when you loosen the first three screws that are on there, you have the hang strap so that you can work on this on a pole and not lose the cover. Right, you can see this is a large lens camera. It is motorized. All right, you have a nice weatherproof seal on the camera itself, on the door frame. All right, nice large dome. There's dry packs in there. Keep moisture out. You have a reset button. All right. Let's go ahead and put it back together, and then we will show you how power over Ethernet works. So while we're closing this up, if you're not familiar with power over Ethernet, instead of having to run electric out to the camera and then have an Ethernet cable going to it, power over Ethernet supplies electricity over a standard Ethernet type cable, the normal computer network type cable. So all you'll have to do is have one wire running out to this, and you will get your power as well. So when you look at your connectors, you do have a BNC type connector and manual connectors if you're hooking this up to a camera system. Right? You do have a power adapter here if you're going to put it somewhere and you want to wire power direct into it, but we're going to be using it with just power over Ethernet. So all that's needed is this one RJ45 connector. Today we're going to be using the TP-Link PoE injector. These goes for about $15 on Amazon. This is the model TL-PoE 150S. Included with this, you will get an Ethernet cable, you will get your AC adapter, and you will get your power over Ethernet adapter itself. All right. So the way power over Ethernet adapter works is you will connect a cable from your computer network to the LAN in port, and then on this side you will have your power and data out. You will run your cable, and I believe the maximum is about 350 feet from my past experience, to the camera. Connect that in, and that's it. This one wire will supply electricity and your data signal back and forth to the camera. Now you can run this camera as far as you want, mount it on the wall. You can tuck these wires away, and all you need is that one Ethernet cable running to your camera, and you are all set. Now that we have this hooked up on our network, we're going to give it power by plugging in the AC adapter. Camera is going to come on. We're going to prepare the software so you can see the interface for the camera. Alright, so once it's all connected, in your browser, you have to learn the IP address of the camera. This is not always the easiest thing to do, especially if you're not too technical. I'm not going to go into understanding this part here because it is different for every computer, but you do have to ascertain the IP address of the camera, which is usually assigned automatically by your router. Alright? If you're not familiar with it, there are a lot of IP scanning utilities that you can get both on a cell phone and on a computer that will help you at least show you all the different IP addresses of all devices being used on your network. In my case, I took a scan of all the IP addresses on my network, then connected the camera, scanned again, and found that 38 was now being used where it wasn't before. So that tells me if I go to 192.168.1.38, I can see the camera. So we go to log in for the camera for the first time, and we'll see what the password is. A lot of times it's just admin and admin, which is the case here. We're going to not save it. All right. Now, for the first time for this, based on the browser you're using, a lot of times you will have to install the plugin support for it. All right, so we're going to try this in Internet Explorer for the purposes of simplicity here. All right, I'm going to try again to download the browser. Download the plugin. It tells us, I'm getting a message here that I have to close the browser in order to do it. Let's go ahead and close the browser and retry. And then we get the setup for the browsing plugin. Let's see if it installed, because it didn't give us any further messages. We're obviously seeing the camera. Let's try again to get the live view working. And there we go. As you can see, that is the camera that's recording the up close of the device. So let's go ahead and aim this in a better direction here. And there you can see the wiring and the actual PoE injector box. Let's see if we can straighten that out, make it look a little better. The camera on there, we have the mainstream. You have substreams, which are usually like a lower quality or a different ratio. You know, like instead of 14:9 or 4:9, you'll have different ratios there. You have different options like stretching it. That's the original feed, which is the full size, high quality stream. We're going to go back to scaled mode. Let's take a look at the settings. Obviously, you can do things like zooming in very close. Remember that right now this is only about 10 inches away from the box in front of it. These cameras are designed to be outside, so you really do want to have it outside so you can get better focus. It's not designed to zoom into something that close. Shots, you can take videos. This is all options that are controlled right from the built-in software. All right, you have a full screen mode. If we go back up here, let's take a look at some of the things. We have playback. This is if you're using the memory card built in. If you put the memory card internal into the camera, you can then zoom in and out. These are the same to see photos that you may have snapped with it. And let's go into the setup, because this is the most important part. So here's where you can configure your IP addresses. You can change the IP information. You can do local things like set things that trigger it and so forth. I find I use a software called Blue Iris. It's about a $40 or $50 program, and it allows you to take any PC, install it on there, and have it as your recording device for multiple cameras. And that's what I use and find it works very well. You can change your Ethernet, you can set the time, a lot of different modes here. On your network, you can see you set the IP addresses, whether it obtains it automatically or you want a static IP. And again, this is all a little more technical. If you're familiar with that, it's pretty easy. If you go to the video mode here, you can choose the resolution. Right now I have it set, as you see, the highest, well, let's go to the 4 megapixel, which is 20 frames per second. All right. Now again, up close like this, it's, this is made to be an outdoor camera, so we're just, for the purposes of testing here, we are doing this up close. Go back to setup. You can change this. I find I like you can do 2048 by 1520 30 frames a second. I prefer the higher frame rate, so when you have movement you get a better quality in a video. All right, you can choose the quality, image size, interval frames. You have a lot of different information. You can enable additional streams. I find one stream is all you really need, so I usually disable that. When you take images, you can set the resolution, the brightness, and all these things about the image. Same with the video here. You can choose the different compression ratios, frame rates, and different forms of video. Smart settings. You can have this that it knows when there's movement on there. And again, this is all when you're using the internal memory recording. If you're using something like Blue Iris software, like I recommend, that could all be controlled through the Blue Iris software, and you don't have to do that all through here. This would be for alarms. This would be storage, telling you the memory card if you have one in there. Right now I do not have one in there, so it shows no capacity. These are some more advanced security settings. You can put watermarks in here, so you can have your own company logo, I guess, or text, I should say, on there saying your company name. This is where you would set the time zone that this is in. Right. Maintenance will allow you to upgrade firmware on here if there's new firmware, to export diagnostic information if you need to send that to the manufacturer, to reboot the device. With these kind of cameras, it's nice to be able, you can either walk over to unplug the power on the power over Ethernet connector and then plug it back in to reboot it, or you can just go here and click restart. So you have a lot of advanced features in here, a lot that you can do, a lot that you can control. Focus here. So if you decide you want to zoom into something, as you see, you can control the focus, and that's really nice quality on there. So there you go. That's the WGCC Power over Ethernet camera. It is really a nice metal frame camera. Like I said, you have the pole mounting on here. It's just really a nice, sturdy, heavy-duty camera. It does an excellent job. The digital and analog or optical zoom feature in here, which is remote controllable, is excellent. The quality is really nice. This is a heavy, solid, good outdoor camera that I think will last a long time, and I find that it's been working very well in my tests, so I've been very happy with it. There you go. See the link below to be able to find it on Amazon, and that's the WGCC camera. Thanks for watching.